The new federal rule to regulate ghost guns is intended to keep untraceable firearms out of the hands of criminals and children.
But the Biden administration's new rule is now in legal limbo as some conservative states challenge the federal government's authority. Tonight, Fox 9 investigator Nathan O'Neill explores what this could mean for Minnesota.
The Fox 9 investigators analyzed federal and state data to get a sense of how often these ghost guns are showing up, oftentimes at the center of crimes. But beyond the federal rule on ghost guns, Minnesota has its own rule on the matter, and we found out it's rarely been used until now. They can be deadly and untraceable. Yet ghost guns are becoming more of a problem across the country and right here in Minnesota. In the ATF's first firearms report in 20 years, the federal government says nearly 38,000 ghost guns were reported to the feds between 2017 and 2021. In Minnesota, at least 187 ghost guns were recovered in that same time frame.
If you look back 5 years, the number of ghost guns that were recovered in crimes is minimal compared to the tens of thousands that are being recovered today.
Ghost guns are virtually untraceable, with no serial number and no background check required, which meant criminals and even kids could buy a ready-to-build kit to make their own ghost gun.
These guns are weapons of choice for many criminals. We're going to do everything we can to deprive them of that choice.
But last year, the Biden administration created a new rule to regulate unassembled kits like this, just like a firearm. The new rule was met with 6 lawsuits across the country. Some courts upheld the rule, but there was one case in Texas, which became the biggest roadblock.
It's not a Second Amendment case. It's not a challenge saying, I have a right to keep and bear arms, and this rule violates that right. This is an administrative law change, which is very different. So it's basically saying that the Biden administration is overstepping its authority to regulate firearms.
In June, a federal judge in Texas threw out the rule nationwide. But the Biden administration took it to the Supreme Court, arguing that doing so would be, quote, reopening the floodgates to the tide of untraceable ghost guns flowing into our nation's communities. In a surprise move, the conservative majority U.S. Supreme Court ordered to keep the ghost gun rule in effect, at least for now, as the case makes its way through the appeals court.
It's not a ruling on the merits, so it doesn't tell us anything about how the Supreme Court would actually decide this case if it comes before it. But it does give us insight into what some of these justices are thinking.
In Minnesota, criminals have exploited ghost guns to commit a variety of violent crimes. Last year, the Fox 9 investigators highlighted this case of a New Year's Eve shooting at the Mall of America, which injured a teenager and an innocent bystander. The firearm in question, a ghost gun. A Polymer 80, the shooter told police he bought online.
So let me ask you this, where'd you get that gun?
Handmade.
Handmade, so you ordered the parts and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You just order that online or something?
Mm-hmm.
Police have even found ghost guns in the hands of underage teenagers.
How old are you? You're 15?
This dashcam video obtained by the Fox 9 investigators shows the arrest of a 15-year-old in St. Paul, accused here in an armed robbery over a bicycle in 2021.
You're going to jail for robbery and aggravated assault.
Police recovered this loaded ghost gun from the teen before he was ultimately booked. A striking example of where some of these untraceable weapons are ending up. While the fate of the federal rule remains in question, here in Minnesota, there is already a state law on the books that makes it illegal to possess a firearm without a serial number. But historically, it's a charge that's rarely been used until recently. One such case was this traffic stop in Richfield last year, where these 2 young men were pulled over for an illegal lane change. Court records reveal the smell of marijuana led police to search the car, where they found this backpack with this loaded ghost gun inside, a firearm with no serial number.
That's the ghost. Let me see, I found the bag.
While detained in the back of the squad car, you can hear then 21-year-old Alfonso Williams mention the ghost gun and that it's been used before. Williams ultimately pleaded guilty to a felony state charge for possession of a firearm without a serial number. This is just one example of a growing number of similar cases in Minnesota. Just last year, at least 122 charges were filed statewide. That's a 400% increase from the year before. Just one more indication of the rise of ghost guns throughout Minnesota.
Now, it is possible the Biden administration's ghost gun rule could be struck down, which would leave Minnesota in a very unique situation. Since our state already has a law on the books banning the possession of un-serialized firearms, that specific state charge could be considered a very useful backup tool for local prosecutors moving forward. For the Fox 9 investigators, I'm Nathan O'Neill.